Being kind to everyone is a concept that has been widely accepted in our society, often preached as a virtue we should all strive for. It's easy to be kind to those who treat us well, to our family and friends, and to those we like. But what happens when kindness is extended to those who seem to do nothing but harm, those who may not appreciate or even reciprocate our efforts? Is it always right to be kind to everyone, or are there times when we should reconsider our approach to kindness? Many of us have been taught to love thy neighbor and to treat everyone with kindness. But what does this truly mean? Does it mean that we should be kind to everyone, no matter their actions, no matter the situation? Kindness is a powerful force. It has the ability to heal, to lift up the brokenhearted, to build bridges between people, and to transform communities. But if we are not discerning with our kindness, we may find ourselves vulnerable or even taken advantage of. Kindness should be extended thoughtfully, carefully, and with wisdom. It's essential to recognize that kindness doesn't always mean turning the other cheek in every situation. There are moments when kindness involves standing up for what is right, speaking out against injustice, or choosing to confront toxic behavior rather than allowing it to continue unchecked. True kindness is not about passivity. It is about having the strength to confront difficult situations with love, clarity, and firm resolve. It's the ability to say no when necessary, to set boundaries that protect not only your own well-being, but the well-being of others as well. In the face of adversity, kindness might look different. It may involve showing compassion to someone who is struggling, but also challenging them to take responsibility for their actions. It may require offering support while also encouraging growth and change. Kindness isn't about enabling destructive behavior or allowing people to walk all over us. Instead, it's about offering a hand up, not just a hand out. It's about fostering an environment where people can thrive and become the best versions of themselves, but without sacrificing our own peace or integrity. Too often we believe that kindness requires us to overlook harmful behaviors or to let others walk over us. This misconception stems from a misunderstanding of the nature of kindness itself. Kindness is not about being a doormat. It is about showing love and respect to others, but it is also about maintaining self-respect and not allowing others to disrespect us. In relationships, whether personal, professional, or spiritual, kindness should be balanced with truth and justice. We should never sacrifice our own values or dignity in the name of kindness. Being kind to everyone can also make it difficult to recognize when we're dealing with toxic people, those who use our kindness to manipulate us or others. These individuals may not have our best interests at heart, and extending kindness to them without discernment can result in emotional or psychological harm. True kindness involves recognizing when someone's behavior is harmful and making the choice to protect ourselves and others from that harm. This might mean distancing ourselves from certain people or confronting them about their actions. In some situations, kindness might require us to have the courage to speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. It might mean calling out harmful behavior when we see it, whether that's in the workplace, in our families, or in the broader community. Kindness doesn't mean pretending that everything is okay when it isn't. It means acknowledging the truth of the situation, even if it's hard, and offering a solution that promotes healing, growth, and justice. There is also the danger of overextending ourselves and our desire to be kind to everyone. It's natural to want to help others and to be a source of encouragement, but we must also recognize our own limitations. We cannot pour from an empty cup. If we are constantly giving of ourselves without taking time to refill our own emotional, mental, and physical reserves, we will find ourselves depleted. Being kind to everyone without taking care of ourselves can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and a loss of our own sense of purpose. In our effort to be kind to others, we must also remember the importance of self-kindness. It's crucial to show ourselves the same compassion and understanding that we offer to others. This doesn't mean indulging in selfishness or neglecting our responsibilities, but it does mean giving ourselves the grace to rest, to heal, and to grow. We cannot give the best of ourselves to others if we are not first nurturing our own well-being. We must love ourselves in order to love others well. Additionally, the context of kindness is important. The situation, the person, and the relationship all play a role in how kindness should be expressed. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. In some cases, kindness means offering a listening ear or a warm meal. In other situations, it may involve giving tough love, setting boundaries, or even choosing to walk away from a relationship that is no longer healthy. We must ask ourselves, what does kindness look like in this moment? What is the best way to show love and care, not only for the other person, but also for ourselves and the greater good? Kindness should not be confused with weakness or naivety. It is strength in action, guided by wisdom, discernment, and an understanding of what is best for everyone involved. It requires courage to sometimes withhold kindness in order to protect what is truly good. Let us also not forget the importance of accountability in kindness. While we are called to be kind, we are also called to help one another grow. Part of kindness is helping people realize their potential and guiding them toward the right path. This might mean giving constructive feedback, offering encouragement in the midst of failure, or challenging someone to change. Kindness, when done right, is not about leaving people where they are, but rather helping them reach a better place. It is about encouraging positive change and holding people accountable for their actions, all while maintaining love and respect. Moreover, there are times when being kind to someone means stepping back and allowing them to experience the consequences of their actions. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is to allow someone to face the natural outcomes of their choices. This is not about punishment or revenge, but about giving them the space to grow and learn. By allowing others to face the results of their behavior, we show them respect and trust that they have the capacity to make better choices in the future. Kindness is not about rescuing people from their problems or always stepping in to save them. It's about showing up, being present, and offering support in ways that empower them to stand on their own 2 feet. Sometimes kindness means being a guide, a mentor, or a friend, but never a crutch. We must let others take responsibility for their own lives, even if it's hard for us to watch them struggle. Being kind to everyone also means recognizing that people are at different points in their journeys. We are all works in progress. Our understanding of kindness should evolve as we grow and mature. As we learn from our experiences, we become better equipped to offer kindness in more meaningful and effective ways. We can learn from our mistakes, reflect on the outcomes of our actions, and make adjustments moving forward. Sometimes we may look back on past situations and wonder if we were too kind or not kind enough. But the key is to learn and grow from those experiences. There is no perfect formula for kindness. It is a dynamic process that requires constant attention, reflection, and adjustment. We must always strive to show kindness, but we must also do so with wisdom, discernment, and a deep understanding of what is truly good and right. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to be kind to everyone is not as simple as it may seem. Kindness is complex, nuanced, and requires a deep understanding of ourselves and others. It is not about being passive or blindly giving of ourselves. It is about making thoughtful, intentional choices that lead to healing, growth, and positive change for all involved. True kindness is not just about what we do for others, but also about what we do for ourselves. It is about nurturing the relationships that truly matter while protecting our own well-being and standing firm in our values. Kindness is not about being passive or blindly giving to everyone. True kindness involves discernment, knowing when to extend compassion and when to set boundaries to protect oneself and others from harm or toxicity. In order to genuinely help others, it's crucial to show kindness to ourselves. This involves maintaining our own well-being, setting healthy boundaries, and taking time to rest and replenish, as we cannot pour from an empty cup. True kindness includes helping others grow and holding them accountable for their actions. Sometimes this means offering constructive feedback, setting boundaries, or allowing others to face the consequences of their choices in order to foster growth and change. Discernment in kindness is essential for understanding when to offer compassion and when to protect oneself from harm. It's easy to assume that kindness should be given unconditionally to everyone, but without discernment, we can end up enabling destructive behavior, compromising our own well-being, or even perpetuating harm unintentionally. The key to true kindness lies not in giving endlessly, but in knowing when to act, how to act, and when to step back. Kindness at its core is about showing care, concern, and love for others. However, it is not a blanket that should be thrown over every situation without consideration of the context or the consequences. We live in a world where there are people who are genuinely in need of kindness, people who are suffering, and people who may be acting in ways that are manipulative, toxic, or even harmful. It's crucial to differentiate between these groups because being indiscriminately kind to everyone can inadvertently empower negative behaviors or leave us vulnerable to exploitation. The act of discernment begins with self-awareness. Before we offer kindness to others, we must first understand our own values, boundaries, and limitations. This means recognizing when we are emotionally or physically capable of offering help and when we need to step back to preserve our energy. Kindness should not come at the expense of our own mental, emotional, or physical health. Offering kindness to others without first assessing whether we can do so without harm to ourselves can lead to burnout, resentment, and lack of authenticity in our relationship. For instance, in our relationships with friends, family, or even colleagues, discernment allows us to evaluate the true nature of the situation. If someone we care about is struggling, it's important to offer support, but we must also ask ourselves what kind of support is actually helpful. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do is to encourage them to seek professional help or to empower them to solve their own problems rather than constantly stepping in and solving things for them. By doing this, we not only show kindness, but we also help them build the tools they need to handle challenges independently. In some situations, discernment may involve recognizing toxic behavior. There are people in our lives who may continuously take advantage of our kindness or treat us poorly. Being kind to these individuals without considering the impact it has on us can result in us being taken for granted. Kindness in these cases may mean having the courage to set boundaries, to say no, or even to distance ourselves from the relationship altogether. This isn't a lack of kindness. On the contrary, it's the wisest form of kindness, one that preserves our well-being and prevents enabling harmful behavior. Discernment also involves recognizing when kindness can be a tool for growth rather than simply a means of comfort. For example, if someone is making poor choices or engaging in self-destructive behavior, kindness doesn't always mean offering sympathy or turning a blind eye. Sometimes the most kind thing we can do is to offer constructive feedback, to challenge them or to encourage them to change. This is particularly true when it comes to those we have a close relationship with, whether family members or close friends. While it may be difficult, encouraging someone to make better decisions, even if it feels uncomfortable at the moment, may ultimately lead to long-term growth for that person. Furthermore, discernment in kindness can help us avoid enabling negative patterns in others. If we are constantly offering kindness to someone who refuses to change their behavior or take responsibility for their actions, we may inadvertently reinforce their patterns of dependency, irresponsibility, or avoidance. In these cases, our kindness could actually be doing more harm than good by making them feel as though there are no consequences for their action. It takes a great deal of courage to acknowledge when our kindness may be enabling someone to remain stuck in a harmful place. At times, discernment means recognizing that some people simply aren't in a position to accept our kindness. For instance, individuals who are deeply hurt, angry, or defensive may not be able to receive kindness in a way that is beneficial to them at that moment. In these situations, kindness might look like offering space, patience, and understanding rather than pushing for immediate change or emotional connection. By giving them the time and space they need, we are respecting their process and offering kindness in a way that allows them to heal on their terms. Being discerning also means evaluating the long-term effects of our kindness. It's easy to offer short-term help or kindness in the heat of a moment, but sometimes the long-term solution requires something different. This is particularly true when the kindness we offer may conflict with someone's personal growth or lead to negative outcomes down the road. For example, providing financial help to someone without encouraging them to manage their finances better could lead to a cycle of dependency, while a more discerning approach might involve teaching them how to handle their financial issues or providing help in a way that encourages self-sufficiency. Ultimately, discernment in kindness is a balance between giving freely and protecting ourselves from harm. Kindness is most powerful when it's rooted in wisdom and guided by an understanding of what is truly best for both ourselves and the others we are helping. We should never be afraid to show kindness, but we must also learn when and how to show it in a way that benefits everyone involved. Sometimes this will require us to be brave enough to say no, to walk away, or to challenge the people we love. But these are the moments when true kindness is most needed, and it is the kind of kindness that leads to growth, healing, and true transformation. Self-care is also about nourishing our physical health. Many people neglect their bodies in the pursuit of success, but taking care of our physical health is integral to maintaining overall well-being. This includes getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, exercising regularly, and attending to any medical needs. It may also involve making time for relaxation, engaging in physical activities that bring us joy, or even pampering ourselves with something as simple as a warm bath. Taking care of our bodies isn't just about preventing illness. It's about creating a healthy foundation that allows us to enjoy life and all it has to offer. An important component of self-care is learning how to set boundaries. We often feel obligated to say yes to every request or demand placed upon us. But in doing so, we can overextend ourselves and lose sight of our own needs. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-kindness. It is the recognition that we cannot be everything to everyone, and that we must protect our time and energy in order to be the best version of ourselves. Whether it's saying no to extra work, limiting time with toxic people, or carving out time for ourselves, setting boundaries is essential to maintaining a healthy balance in our lives. Self-kindness and self-care are deeply interconnected, and they require a commitment to ongoing practice. They are not one-time fixes or fleeting moments of indulgence. They are long-term investments in our well-being. When we practice self-kindness, we lay the foundation for sustainable self-care, and when we take care of ourselves, we become better equipped to care for others and to live our lives with greater purpose and fulfillment. In a society that often encourages self-sacrifice and overwork, practicing self-kindness and self-care can feel like a radical act. However, it is the most loving thing we can do for ourselves. By embracing these practices, we not only improve our own lives, but we also become better equipped to contribute positively to the world around us. We cannot pour from an empty cup, and the more we invest in our own well-being, the more we have to offer others. Kindness and accountability are often seen as separate concepts, but they are deeply intertwined and should coexist in any healthy relationship or community. Kindness, at its core, is about showing compassion, understanding, and support for others, while accountability is the act of holding ourselves and others responsible for our actions and their consequences. Many people view kindness as something that overlooks or excuses mistakes, but in reality, true kindness involves holding people accountable in ways that promote growth, healing, and positive change. The misconception that kindness and accountability cannot go hand in hand often arises when we associate kindness with leniency or enabling bad behavior. However, real kindness is not about letting people off the hook for their mistakes or bad choices. Instead, it's about creating an environment where individuals are encouraged to take responsibility for their actions, learn from their mistakes, and grow into better versions of themselves. Without accountability, kindness can be shallow, enabling, or even counterproductive. True kindness recognizes that people need to be held accountable not only for their actions, but for their growth as well. Holding someone accountable in a kind way requires a balance between compassion and firmness. It's easy to become passive or overly lenient when we are trying to be kind, especially when we want to avoid conflict or upsetting others. However, accountability requires us to be honest, direct, and clear about what behavior is acceptable and what is not. Kindness doesn't mean ignoring harmful actions or turning a blind eye to unhealthy patterns. It means addressing the behavior in a way that is respectful, understanding, and constructive. Kindness, when paired with accountability, encourages a positive change by fostering a safe space for honest communication and growth. When we hold others accountable in a kind manner, we are not only addressing their behavior, but also respecting their dignity. It's essential to remember that people are more likely to change when they feel supported rather than condemned. A person who feels understood and valued, even in the face of their mistakes, is more likely to reflect on their actions and make an effort to improve. Accountability should not come from a place of judgment or punishment, but from a desire to see the other person succeed and grow. When people are held accountable in a way that is respectful and compassionate, it creates an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect, which is essential for growth. In relationships, whether they are familial, romantic, or professional, accountability often plays a critical role in maintaining a healthy balance. In any relationship, clear boundaries and expectations must be set, and when those are crossed, it's crucial to address the issue head on. The way we hold others accountable speaks volumes about the strength of our relationship. If we allow toxic behaviors to go unchecked out of fear of causing discomfort or conflict, we are doing a disservice to both ourselves and the other person. Kindness and accountability together allow for open and honest conversations where both parties can express their feelings, address grievances, and move forward with a deeper understanding. Accountability also has the potential to be a tool for self-improvement. It's not just about holding others accountable. We must also be willing to hold ourselves accountable. Practicing self-accountability is an integral part of personal growth. Recognizing when we've made mistakes, owning up to our actions and making changes is a sign of emotional maturity and responsibility. In many ways, the way we hold ourselves accountable will influence how we hold others accountable. If we model accountability by owning up to our own mistakes, others are more likely to do the same. Moreover, being kind to ourselves when we fail or fall short is an important aspect of self-accountability. It allows us to approach mistakes with a growth mindset, learning from them rather than berating ourselves. Kindness and accountability also means offering second chances and creating opportunities for redemption. We are all human and we all make mistakes. One of the most powerful aspects of kindness is its ability to forgive and allow others the space to learn and grow from their errors. However, offering a second chance doesn't mean excusing poor behavior or letting someone off the hook. It means giving the person an opportunity to make amends and show that they are willing to change. Accountability in this context isn't about holding someone to a standard of perfection, but rather encouraging them to take responsibility for their actions and work toward improvement. By offering second chances, we show kindness and trust in their ability to evolve and grow. In some cases, kindness and accountability can mean walking away from situations that are unhealthy or toxic. Holding someone accountable might sometimes involve setting boundaries and creating distance to protect ourselves. Being kind to someone doesn't mean allowing ourselves to be treated poorly. If a person continues to engage in harmful or disrespectful behavior without making an effort to change, kindness might require us to step back or even walk away. This is not an act of punishment, but a necessary step for our own well-being. By holding ourselves accountable to our own needs, we show self-respect, and in doing so, we model what it means to take care of ourselves. In the broader context of society, kindness and accountability also play a crucial role in promoting justice and fairness. In situations where there are systemic inequalities, we must show kindness and empathy to those who are marginalized or suffering. However, kindness should not mean overlooking injustices. True kindness calls us to hold systems and individuals accountable for their actions, ensuring that there is justice and fairness for all. By combining compassion with accountability, we can advocate for positive change while still being considerate of people's struggles and challenges. In the end, the integration of kindness and accountability is essential for creating an environment where people can grow, learn, and thrive. It's not enough to show kindness without holding people accountable for their actions, nor is it effective to hold others accountable without being compassionate and understanding. By embracing both elements, we create a foundation for healthy, meaningful relationships where growth is encouraged and mistakes are opportunities for learning.